What's up, gente? What's up, Raza? I just want to talk about a few things that some of us can get involved with this spring. You don't have to be, Raza. You can just be somebody who wants to get involved with the cultura, or with, more importantly, I would say, the Chicano movement that involves both cultura and the political side of it, the action-based part of it, including the marchas, the protests, or any kind of action that is enlightening. And that's a revolutionary act, is to enlighten your mind about the history, about anything that empowers the community and empowers you. Let me start off with the first one coming up, and this is this weekend in San Jose, California. Raza Unida, for example, is having something on the 31st. I'm part of it. It's actually a statewide conference where we are organizing the Raza Unida party in California specifically. And they'll be organizing in San Jose, California. That's happening this weekend, and that's starting at 12:30 to about 5:30. About a 4 or 5 hour conference. It's not going to be long, so show up. Look at my old video. I got the directions there. Another thing that's happening in Los Angeles, California, we have Ice out of Aztlan, and I did a whole video on that too, about how we are going to gather at Mariachi Plaza in East LA. We're going to have a few speakers. We're going to have a great performance by Jagariola, a revolutionary brother, and listen to his lyrics. I'm telling you, he's going to be performing, and we're going to have speakers, and we do a marcha. So you're welcome to come out there. Brown Berets will be providing security. I will be doing that along with CSO, Central CSO, and the Freedom Road Socialist Organization, as well as other organizations, including Raza Unida. There's going to be things happening around the country, including Houston, El Paso, Albuquerque. A lot of these places are doing, and Colorado, they're doing their own Ice Out of Aztlan event around that weekend, because February 2nd, some people are going to be doing events in recognition of the signing of the Treaty of Guadalupe Hidalgo. And we're going to recognize that that treaty is null and void, meaning it really went against Raza. So a lot of people will be protesting that just to take a stand. And then, so those are some of the immediate events happening. And then February 8th will be the Super Bowl. Raza, including the Brown Berets, Los Brown Berets, and Black Berets, and others, will be organizing out, including, I think it's CSO, Central CSO in Northern California. Definitely go out there to any of those events. And these are events that are either a marcha, a protest, or just a community event. Now, I know that there's going to be stuff like car shows and concerts, and those are beautiful. Don't get me wrong. We need the music, we need the entertainment, we need the cultura, but we also need to, make sure we, get our minds straight too with that education, not miseducation. And then I can't forget Cesar Chavez's birthday, which people recognize in some states and others they don't. A lot of people are going to be, marching in honor of Cesar Chavez. We see that every year. Some schools do things, some states do things, and that's beautiful. So if you're involved with the labor movement in any way, or the Chicano movement, or the peace movement, even, because Cesar Chavez did take a different approach, right, to things, definitely get involved. I know I'm a big part of that in my community as well, as an educator, as a Brown Beret. One of the things that's coming up that I should not leave out, before I forget, will be the Chicano Park Day, and I believe that's in April. And don't know the exact date yet, but it's at Chicano Park in San Diego, California. If you have not visited Chicano Park, has been there. It's a historic park that was taken over by the community. The government, the local government, was going to make it a CHP, or police station, right? They're going to make this little park a police station, a substation. Well, Raza used to use that park to gather, to hang out, and it's under the bridge. There's a beautiful song called "Under the Bridge" at Chicano Park, right? That's at least that's the lyrics. That's part of the lyrics there, because it happened there in 19, I believe, 70. And so go to Chicano Park. It's beautiful. People from all over the world go there, take pictures. They have car show. They have performances. It's beautiful. But I don't want to forget May 1st, or Primero de Mayo. A lot of people forget that on Primero de Mayo, that is actually meant to commemorate and recognize the workers, not just any workers, but the workers of the world, all workers, especially the hardworking workers, from the farm workers to the hotel workers to you name it. And this is all over the world. This is something that started here in the United States of America. Go figure. The whole world, recognizes this. I'm in Cuba and they recognize this. I'm in Mexico City, they recognize this. Heck, I go to France and they recognize this. But yet the United States of America doesn't recognize this. And this is a contradiction, right? How can we have a day that started here and not recognize it? Part of it is because they want to keep us ignorant, and not aware about the history of the labor movement here in the United States of America, and why workers deserve better, right? Why they deserve better pay, better, everything. When you look at the health benefits, it's sad because a lot of people don't have those, or it's a mess. My opinion, we should all have free healthcare for everybody, no matter what. Give it to the people. We have the money to do it, but we got our priorities upside down because we have leaders in Congress who don't know what they're doing, or else they do know what they're doing and they're purposely keeping things away from us that we should have available, including free healthcare for all. So May 1st, Primero de Mayo, I know here in Fresno, it's a big event. And so a lot of people are doing things, and I believe that's a Friday. So it usually falls on the day is May 1st. In August, we do have the what's called the Chicano moratorium. That's always recognized around the country. It started in East LA, where 30,000 people came together to protest the Vietnam War. And, the sheriffs and police officers, law enforcement, they shot a lot of Raza, Chicana. They shot Ruben Salazar, journalist with the LA Times. And it was a scandal, but it was for us, Raza Chicana, it was our Selma, Alabama. We are taught about the Black Civil Rights Movement and how Martin Luther King Jr., the people he was leading, marched to Selma, Alabama, and got beat and brutalized on national television by law enforcement. Well, that happened to us too in Chicano Park. So it's not just recognized, by the way, in East LA, and I want to make that clear. It's recognized all over. Texas has been doing this for a while too. Colorado. Matter of fact, there's a lot of Chicano moratorium committees. San Diego has their own in the Bay Area. I've attended those in the past, so I know they're doing stuff up there. Now, between that, there's also some other events that are going to be taking place. And after that, obviously, September 16th. But I mentioned this because I want people to be up on some of these events. And I know I missed some. I know I've forgotten some, but I don't want to misrepresent the organizers' efforts. For example, in certain parts of the country where they may be doing an event and we haven't heard of it, or maybe an event that takes place, it's a tradition. I definitely want to talk about it. Obviously, if it's for gente, if it's for the people, the Raza Chicana, then definitely I want to make sure that people know. And when I say, Raza, I want people to understand, I'm talking about people from all over this continent, from North America to South America, Central America. It doesn't matter where you're from. We recognize, we all have a common experience. And so when I say Raza, I'm including everybody. Again, the immediate one coming up is January 31st. It's a Saturday. Raza Unida will have its first California statewide conference. We haven't had this in years, my understanding is. It will be held in San Jose, California. The next event after that will be one held in East Los Angeles called Ice Out of Aztlan, and that'll be at Mariachi Plaza, 10 o'clock. There'll be a march, there'll be performance and speakers, and then there'll be events taking place again all over the country. So look at your local, Raza Unida Partido, Brown Berets, or organizers. Look it up, Ice Out of Aztlan. There'll be the protest. It's actually a protest if you want to go protest the Super Bowl and protest the current policies by the current president and what ICE is doing to gente. Definitely, people will be out there making the voice heard on one of the biggest stages, days, platforms in history, the history of the world, which is the Super Bowl, along with the Olympics, Super Bowl. And those events, they draw a lot of attention. So we want to make sure that's in Northern California, the organizers, that they get the support. Keep tuning in. Love, hate, doesn't matter. Hey, it's all good because, we're all here to learn and definitely evolve. I do want to make one thing clear is that I know a lot of you have been asking about little history on the Brown Berets. I will be giving a little history on the Brown Berets. I will also be giving a little history on the different factions, where we went, how, the Brown Berets evolved into what we are today, including La Mesa Nacional de Brown Berets, which is a national, the largest, longest running coalition network of Brown Berets across the country. Keep in mind, it may be a different patch, but it's the same beret. Only one beret, many patches, only one beret. And we put that beret on, it doesn't matter the formation. Everybody assumes that responsibility, assumes that duty, and assumes that commitment, wear that beret with dignity. That said, everybody go out, enjoy the springtime with your families. I know there's a lot of horrible things happening out there. There is every day, but you gotta take in the good too. You soothe that soul with your family. Take time out with your loved ones, spend the time, even if it's just by yourself. Do it because our mental health sometimes is a little more important than our physical health.